Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Hope you all are fine and doing good and understood the previous lectures of physics. Welcome to another virtual class of physics. Students, as you have studied in yesterday's lecture about graph, now we have to discuss about different graphs or the graphs between different quantities. So today we have to discuss the distance time graph. The distance time graph means there are two quantities of a graph. The first one is the distance and the other one is time. So we have to draw the graphs between distance and time, and these are the question number 14, 15 and 16 from your notes. Okay, first of all we have to draw the axis. As you know that there are two axes. The first one is the x-axis and the other one is the y-axis. X-axis is a horizontal line and the y-axis is a vertical line. So first of all we have the two quantities. The first one is the distance and the other one is a time. We have to draw the graph between these two quantities. Now we have to decide which one is the independent quantity and the other one is the dependent quantity. So there is a time, that is independent variable or independent quantity, and distance, that is dependent variable or dependent quantity. As you know that we have to draw the values of independent variable or independent quantity on x-axis. So we have to draw the values of time on x-axis because time is an independent variable or independent quantity, and the other quantity, that is distance, having a unit meter, is drawn on the y-axis, that is dependent variable. We have to mention the units of those quantities, like the unit of time is second and the unit of distance is meters. Now we have to discuss the different cases for distance time graph, that in different cases which type of graph we have to be draw. Okay, the first case, when we observe an object and that object is at rest, it means there is no motion of object. A body is said to be at rest if it does not change its position with respect to its surroundings. So we can say that that object is at rest. Okay, when the object is at rest and we have to draw the graph. So there are two quantities. The first one is the distance and the other one is time. We have to observe that the graph we have to be draw in unit time and there is no motion. Okay, the first case, when the object is at rest. In this case, the line of graph is horizontal, that is parallel to time axis. Okay, you can see a graph, distance on y-axis and time on x-axis. There are different values of time in seconds, from 0, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 second, as you can see also in a table. Now we have to observe the values of distance: 20 meters, 40 meters, 60 meters, 80 meters, 100 meters and 120 meters on a graph. But you can see in a table, in 0 seconds the distance covered by an object is 100 meters. How you can say that the 100 meters? It means if you observe the object and that object already covers the remaining distance from 0 to 100, you observe the object at 100 meters. Okay, so after 1 second the object is also at 100 meters. It means it does not change its position, it is at 100 meters. After 2 seconds the object is also at 100 meters. After 3 seconds, the object is also at 100 meters. After 4 seconds, the distance remains same, and after 5 seconds, the distance also remains same. It means there is no change in distance or no distance covered by an object. So there is a straight line, and that line is parallel to the time axis or x-axis. Parallel line means two lines never meet each other at any point. So there is a straight line that is parallel to time. So when the object is at rest, the distance moved by the object with time is 0. It means there is no motion. Thus, a horizontal line parallel to time axis, or you can say that parallel to the x-axis on a distance time graph, shows that the speed of the object is 0. Okay, if we take the values distance divided by time, the speed will be 0. When the object is at rest, the distance moved by the object with time is 0. So if we find the speed from the given values from the graph, because speed is equals to distance divided by time, so the speed is also 0. There is an other condition, another case for distance time graph, that when an object is moving with constant speed, the word constant means remains same. So the definition for constant speed is when the speed of an object remains the same and if it does not increase or decrease. So if we observe an object and throughout our observation the speed of object does not change, so we can say that the speed of object is constant. So we have to take the different values of distance and time on distance time graph, and we have to find the constant speed, and we have to find out the shape of the graph of distance time graph. Okay, here is the graph when the object is moving with constant speed. So first of all, we have to draw the two lines, the vertical line and a horizontal line. So we have to mention the values of time on x-axis because time is an independent variable or independent quantity, and the other quantity is distance. So we have to draw or mention the values of distance on y-axis. The unit of distance is meter and the unit of time is seconds. Now we have to draw the graph when the speed is constant. The speed is constant. There is a line of a graph in a straight line at any angle, or we can say that there is a slope like inclined. This implies that the speed of an object under uniform motion remains constant. So here is the shape of the graph. There is a line that is inclined or there is a slope. This is the line between the distance and time. Okay, we have to take the different values of distance and time at different points, then we can easily find out the value of speed. Now we have to find the value of constant speed from the given graph. So we have to draw the graph first of all, then we have to take the different values from different points from the graph, then we can easily find out the value of speed. So how we can find? First of all, we have to take the different points. At that point we get the exact value of distance and time. First of all, you can see there is a point F, A and C. A is a point on a slope. There is a slope. The blue line represents the slope. So the F point, it gives the value of distance, and at point C it gives the value of time. So at point A we can take the values of distance and time, and at point B we can also take the value of distance and time. So we use the formula that speed of object is equals to the slope of line AB. The formula for slope is y divided by x. Y is equals to the distance between E and F. The value of F is 10 and the value of E is 20. So divided by time, time is CD. Okay, the value of C is 5 and the value at point D is 10. So we have to find the difference. Difference means minus. We have to minus the values of F and E, E minus F and D minus C. 20 minus 10 and 10 minus 5 becomes 10 divided by 5, that is equals to 2 meter per second. 2 meter per second is the value of speed. It means if we take the different points after point A and B, we get also the value of speed is 2 meter per second. It means the speed is constant. So when the object is moving with constant speed, the acceleration of object will be 0. Okay, here are the two words, the speed slash velocity. It means speed and velocity both are same, as you have studied in previous lecture that speed and velocity are interchangeable quantities. So if there is no change in velocity, acceleration will be 0, because the definition of acceleration told us that there is a change in velocity in unit time. If there is no change in velocity, if there is no change in speed, it means the acceleration of the object will be 0. Okay, the third case or the third condition for distance time graph is when object with variable speed. Variable means there is a change in speed. The word variable means there is a change. It derived from the word vary. Vary means change. So the definition for variable speed is an object is said to be in variable speed when the object covers a different distance at equal intervals of time. It means there is an equal gap or equal interval of time, but the different change in distance. For example, in 5 seconds the object covers a distance of 5 meters. Next 5 seconds the object covers a distance of 10 meters. So there is a different distance at equal intervals of time. Okay, here is the graph when the object is moving with variable speed. As you can see a graph, there are two quantities, the distance and time. We have to draw the values of distance on y-axis and we have to mention the values of time on x-axis. As you can see, the line of a graph is not a straight line but it is curved. It means there is a change in speed in equal interval of time. So when the object is moving with variable speed, then the distance time graph is not a straight line. This means when object does not cover equal distance in equal interval of time, then its speed is not a straight line. So the slope of the curve at any point can be found from the slope of the tangent at that point. Okay, if we draw a straight line near to the curve and that straight line touch at any point of the curve, that straight line is called the slope of the tangent. So we can say that we have to draw a tangent to find the values of the curved line. Okay, you can see the line that is Q and R, that is the dotted line. That line is called the slope of tangent, and this line touches the curve at point P. So we have to draw the vertical lines from point P towards the time axis and from point R towards the time axis. Okay, now by drawing this construction, we can easily find out the value of variable speed. Okay, it is compulsory to draw the tangent. Okay, now we have to find the slope of tangent, value of variable speed. Now first of all, we have to use the formula. The slope of tangent is equals to the slope of curve. Okay, the formula for the slope of tangent is, for example, there you can see the points R, Q and S. If we observe, there is a right angle triangle RQS. There is a right angle triangle. Okay, so you can see, or you have studied that the RS is called the perpendicular and QS is the base of the triangle. So the slope of tangent is equals to perpendicular divided by base. Okay, so the points on the perpendicular of the right angle triangle is RS divided by base, that is QS. RS divided by QS. The value of RS at point S, the distance is 0, and at point R, parallel to the R, there is a value 30. So 30 minus 0 becomes 30. Okay, and if we take the values of base QS, there are two values. At point Q there is a 5 seconds, and at point S there are 15 seconds. So 15 minus S, second minus first value, 15 minus 5 is equals to 10. So 30 divided by 10 is equals to 30 meter per second. So the slope of the curve at any point can be found from the slope of the tangent at that point. So 3 meter per second is a variable speed. So when an object is moving with variable speed, so there is a change in speed or change in velocity, so the acceleration will produce. As you know that acceleration means there is a rate of change of velocity in unit time, so the acceleration will produce. And if there is no change in velocity or there is no change in speed, acceleration will be 0. So we can say that when object is moving with variable speed, acceleration produce. So here is the conclusion of all the questions of distance time graph is, if the distance time graph is a straight line parallel to the x-axis or parallel to the time axis, then the motion of object is 0. It means the body or object is at rest. There is no change in distance. It means speed will be 0. And if the distance time graph is a straight line at any angle, then the motion is uniform, that is a constant speed. Constant speed means there is no acceleration but speed is constant. And if the distance time graph is a curved line, then the motion is non-uniform, variable speed. There is some other conclusion from the distance time graph is, if the distance time graph of any body is given, its speed can be calculated by using the slope of the graph, or we can easily find out the value of speed by using the values that are mentioned on the distance time graph. Okay students, it's time to end the lecture, and here is your diary that you have to learn question number 14, 15 and 16 of unit number 2 from your notes, and you have to prepare the test of your question number 11 to 16, and I'll provide you the key of the previous test, and you have to check the assessment by your own self.